right, so now we're going to continue to deepen our work with the distinction rackets. We're going to get even deeper into rackets. Isn't that exciting? But see, now we're going to work on rackets as an access. We're going to expand the distinction rackets to really get the access that it is to a life of possibility. Some of you, I mean, you've been sharing that already, but we're going to actually now expand on that and develop out what it is to go from a racket to a possibility, how that's possible. So we're going to start by reviewing the distinction racket. So a racket, like we said, a racket is a fixed way of being plus a persistent complaint. So every time you have that complaint, you start being the exact same way, right? It's, remember G8 on the Jukebox plays Rhythm Nation by Janet Jackson? When you have that complaint, whatever that one is, just like G8 on the Jukebox plays the same song every time you press that button, you start being the exact same way, right? And we got there completely inauthentic because it has nothing to do with the complaint. It's not about the complaint. Why you keep that around is because you get something out of running the racket. You get a payoff. Like, it's, you know, that's why the complaint has hung around for 10, 20, 30 years, is you're getting something out of that. You know, I've got my complaint, they're not listening to me. Oh man, I get lots of juice out of that one. Right? So, the payoffs always live in the world of being right or making someone or something else wrong. If you look when you're running a racket, there's always somebody that's right, it's usually you, and there's someone or something that's wrong. It also lives in the world of winning and losing, those games where you're out to one-up people and kind of come out ahead in the game. There's also dominating and avoiding domination. How about those people that go silent in the room? Is there anything more dominating in a conversation than to have somebody sit there and stop talking and be like this? Dominate everything, and I'm not even saying anything. Right? These are the payoffs. This is, you gotta get, this is like the elixir of life to human beings. We love this stuff. We're like, I know it's killing off my life, but oh, it tastes so good to be right. It feels so good to dominate the crap out of these poor people. Right? So there's winning, losing, being right, making something or someone else wrong, dominating, avoiding domination, and I left one out because we love to be justified. We are some righteous ass people. And I could say that to any room of people, anywhere in the world. And it would fit. Now, what we don't normally pay too much attention to is what it costs us to run rackets. See, if you look when you're running a racket, you look at the last time you ran a racket, you know, is there any love or affinity present for anybody or anything? Any human being, including yourself when you're running a racket? No. Just burn. For me, it's like a burn. It's like a slow break. No love and affinity, nothing. Look, would you say that you have the experience of being vital and filled with well-being? Would you say, Michael, that you had that experience of being vital and filled with just a sense of well-being when that racket was running?
Not at all.
Hell no. Right? Any satisfaction or fulfillment present when that's happening?
No.
Any peace? What about self-expression? Did you feel self-expressed? No. Right? But we will gladly pay the cost to get that little elixir of being right. We're like, oh, it's so tasty. Shut up. Right? That's the rackets. And we'll say it's about the complaint. It's because they're not listening to me. That's the nonsense of it. That's why it's a racket. That's why it's like, you know, gangster time. Because we got the little cute little front outside, but in the back they're just like hacking off arms and killing people, and it's just brutal. So when you experience both the payoff and the cost of a racket, then something truly remarkable happens. This is now, I'll tell you, this is where I fell in love with this work. This is where my life began, what I'm about to say right here. In a Landmark Forum in 1996, this is where my life began. See, in the moment that you experience the payoff and the cost of running a racket, in that moment, the racket goes from the only way to be in life. It goes from how life is to a possible way of being. And that's a mind blower. That is a mind blower. I was like, you mean I'm the asshole? Oops. I'm sorry. I should call my parents. See, and then right in that moment, you have a choice. Then you have a choice. In that moment, you can actually get off it. You can let go of it. Like Alon was pointing to, letting go of the payoff, letting go of being right. Is being right really more important than my relationship with my mother right now? Really? Every time a racket shows up as a racket, in that moment you have the opportunity to give something up. And giving something up always creates a space in which you can invent new possibilities. That's the point. The racket, it's like physics. The racket literally is taking up space. You distinguish it as a racket. It stops taking up that space. It actually goes back into the past. There's nothing there for maybe a moment. And that moment is a huge radical opportunity for a human being. So, where was I? Now this is the work that we're going to be doing today. So we're going to give you an opportunity to practice what I just shared with you. So first, I want to give you an opportunity to get present to one of your rackets. So in a moment, you're going to turn to your partner, and you're going to share one of your rackets. The point in this exercise is not to report on the racket. I know you guys are smart, and you're going to go, well, here's the payoff. I get this, I get this, I get this. And here's the cost. It cost me this, and it cost me this, and it cost me this. Check. Tick the box. Right? I know you can do that, right? That's not the point in this exercise. The point is to not report on the racket, but to really share and share yourself with the other human being, like Shabnam and, sorry, I'm going to say the two names together, Shabnam and Siobhan. Wow, that was really hard, I just got to say. Shabnam and Siobhan are two human beings that are going to share their lives together. But, I mean, yes, that's funny about the names, but I'm more committed that you get what I'm saying now, which is they're two human beings that are going to actually share their lives together. And this opportunity to actually share your humanity is where enrollment lies. So don't rob yourself of this opportunity by giving the laundry list of the things you know about your rackets. It will make no difference. Well, it won't not make no difference. But it'll be like, I understand my rackets now. It's great. I understand them. I'm running it right now. And I understand everything. Pointless, okay? So, you want to share yourself with that other person in such a way that they really get the world of the racket. Your words create worlds, or they can. So, first, share the complaint and share the fixed way of being. Then share what you see you've gotten as the payoff. Like, what do you get out of running this racket? Why do you keep this complaint around? Then fully share and make real the cost of having run this racket for as long as you have. Like, use this as an opportunity to practice sharing. It's like what Linda did with her dad. It was like, it was real. The sharing was real. That makes sense? Okay, good. So you're going to have 2 minutes each. Ready? Oh, wait, first of all, let me just make sure. Are you guys clear about what you're doing? You can do this.
I'm at a racket right now.
There you go. No, you're probably an upset. But just put it but I mean, are you guys clear what you're doing? So you're distinguishing the racket, the complaint, the fixed way of being, sharing and making real the payoff, and sharing and making real the cost of running that racket. That's what you're going to do. 2 minutes each. Ready? Go.